want to talk to you all today about traffic and surveillance cameras and the role that they can play in Missouri car accident cases. In the aftermath of a car accident, one of the most powerful tools available to uncover the truth about what happened is video evidence. And across the state of Missouri, whether it's an urban center or a rural roadway, there can be surveillance cameras that can be extremely valuable in determining what happened in an accident. These cameras installed at intersections, highways, and even private properties can play a critical role in investigating a car accident case. Their footage can substantiate claims, they can show who's liable, and they can make sure that the party who's injured gets fair compensation for their injuries. So, why is it the cameras in Missouri matter? Every year, there's thousands of car accidents that occur in Missouri, and many result in serious injuries or death. And determining what happened in these accidents can be really challenging, especially when drivers give conflicting accounts of how the accident happened. And this is where video footage can become essential. Camera recordings provide a neutral, objective view of the event, and they can often clarify uncertainties that even eyewitness testimony or police encounters can't resolve. One of these things can be proving who had the right of way. One key dispute in Missouri when there's auto accident cases is who had the right of way. Whether the crash occurred at an intersection, a two-way road, a four-way road, understanding which driver had the right to proceed is really critical in understanding who's at fault. And traffic footage can show the exact moment each vehicle entered the intersection, the color of the traffic light, and the positioning of all the vehicles. It's especially useful in intersections governed by traffic lights, where red light violations may be common. The footage also helps confirm if one of the drivers entered the intersection unlawfully or just failed to yield altogether. It can also be important for identifying traffic law violations. Running red lights, failing to stop at stop signs, or ignoring yield signs are common causes of accidents across Missouri. And when a crash occurs, video footage can capture these violations with time-stamped evidence. Some of these intersections and highways in Missouri are equipped with red light or speed cameras, although you don't typically see them too often anymore. There's oftentimes automated systems, security or surveillance cameras as from businesses, residences, or public buildings that can capture key moments of any incident. And that footage can show what happened when vehicles ignore traffic signals or when there's a dispute as to what took place. We can also use video footage for reconstructing the sequence of events. Missouri roads vary from, of course, congested interstates to quiet country routes, and accidents can happen in any of those locations, especially in high-speed areas where collisions happen in seconds. It can be critical to have the footage to show exactly what happened. It can help reconstruct what happened before, during, or even after the crash. It can reveal swerving, whether someone's driving erratic, tailgating, or if they suddenly stopped. And the clear chronology of events helps investigators, attorneys, and insurance understand how the accident happened and who did what to cause the accident. One of the things that's most critical when we begin to work on cases is securing the footage. And despite the usefulness of these footage and how often the cameras are out in the community, this footage isn't stored indefinitely. And in fact, many video systems, especially those maintained by private entities, they override each other or they self-delete. And depending on the system, we may just have 24 hours or a few days, maybe a few weeks. This makes timing critical. So if you've been in an accident in Missouri, it's really imperative to act quickly. Contacting a personal injury attorney right away to make sure that we preserve the video and we identify any video can keep it from being lost. We can send legal notice, we can file subpoenas, we can hire private entities or private investigators to contact the entities to get the footage from businesses or homeowners to make sure we can establish what happened. So, how can attorneys help to secure footage? There are complicated processes, honestly, to get the footage. Every single entity has its own means of getting the footage. And accessing this footage sometimes does require a formal request in many cases or legal intervention. Private surveillance cameras, such as gas stations, retail stores, or even residences, are of course less formal, but still require immediate action. There are many times property owners that are willing to just share footage if asked politely and promptly. However, without legal support, victims might not know where to look or how to look for the footage to obtain for the accident. But an experienced personal injury attorney understands the legal procedure and has resources to identify the cameras, send preservation or evidence request, file subpoenas, or compel production, to analyze the footage in the context of local traffic laws, and to present the evidence persuasively, whether that be during settlement or in court. So, type of cameras. Missouri isn't universally covered with traffic cameras. There's, of course, some cameras at other intersections and some cameras not at intersections. And although the red light cameras have been debated, there may still be a possibility of getting camera footage from the many cameras that exist at an intersection. There are also MoDOT traffic cameras, and there's, of course, business and private security cameras. It's amazing how often we can find cameras when there's an accident that's taken place. Oddly enough, there's a number of cases we also have where there's been dash cam footage from a driver that may not necessarily have been involved, but may have been able to see the accident that took place. And it's not uncommon for those people to provide us with that footage when requested. All right, in summation, video footage can really impact an accident and our position when arguing with an insurance company or defense counsel. It's far more likely we can obtain fair compensation for our client if we're able to show who did what and that our client was injured by somebody else's negligence. Almost most important, though, if a case goes to trial, that footage can be critical to convincing jurors as to what took place and how it took place. Missouri has fault rules, meaning that even our client can be some degree at fault and then can still recover. And showing to what extent each party is at fault can be critical in order for us to succeed for our client. So if you or a loved one's been involved in a crash, we hope that you call us as soon as possible, and we'd be happy to help you.